So it's been 2 months now since I've been living with this car, and now I think it's appropriate to give it a thorough owner's review. And here it is. It's a 2000 Lexus ES300. It's the XV20 generation, which makes it the third generation of the ES lineup. Mine is finished off in a two-tone diamond white pearl exterior with gray scheme on the bottom. Starts from the front bumper and ends to the rear bumper. And mine also has the optional 16-inch alloy rims, and all four wheels are disc brake, and is also equipped with anti-lock braking system, or ABS. Anyhow, in 1997, when the XV20 generation was introduced, Lexus was actually doing this design theme, which quite all of their lineup, from the entry-level ES to their flagship LS models, is that what they're doing is they're making the shape of their cars as aerodynamic as possible. The ES300, when it was introduced in 1997, it only had a 0.29 drag coefficient, so which makes this car very, very slippery. And as a testament to that, they've even gone into the trouble as tucking the wipers away right here at the trailing edge of the hood. As you can see, it's tucked quite underneath there. And if I stand here in front of the car, you can barely even see it. The wipers itself comes in two modes. Right now, this is what you call the summer mode. And if I flick it up to this angle right here, which I can't because I'm currently holding the camera, but if you flick it up here to this angle, they call it the winter mode. Basically, it's up there, so when snow comes and ice, the wipers won't stick and you won't have trouble flicking them on. So here in Northern California, I don't need that setting, so I barely even do that. Although I flick it up once in a while when I have to clean the wipers, which is a bit of a pain, really. And here we go. Even the door handles, by the way, are flushed. And one of the most noticeable quirks of the XV20 is that if you look around all four corners of the car, you won't be able to see even an antenna. So you'd think, oh, does the car even come with a radio antenna? Yes, it does, but it's here in the rear windscreen. It's actually vertically imprinted on the windscreen. It comes from here to the bottom and up there to the top. There you go. Now, I'll give you guys a tour of the car. So let's start with the trunk. Here's the key, by the way. So this is your typical Lexus key from the early 2000s, because mine is the later model of the XV20, by the way, which has these clear taillights. And up to the front, they also revised a couple of things there. I'll show you guys that later once we checked out the trunk. So here's the trunk. Quite a decent room, I guess. Although, mind you, the rear seats doesn't fold all the way forward. All it has is this little ski hatch for longer items that you put. Don't mind the box, that's just mine and a bunch of my stuff. So this car came with standard size steel rims. It's neatly tucked under here. And then you have your jacks to the right side. And here you had the optional first aid kit. I guess the previous owner didn't tick that option off, so I don't have it. I don't have a first aid. Anyhow, this release tab here is a manual release lever for the gas cap, because the gas cap is automatic, electronic controlled from the cabin. So if you pull on that, which I'll demonstrate, it's going to release the gas cap right here on the left side of the car. So there you go. So quite substantial trunk space, which is pretty good. Now let's go to the front of the car. So, like I said, mine was the later model of the ES300. I have this revised chrome trim on the grille, and also have this quite angled air dams or splitters, or even spoilers on the bumper, as you may call it. So it's right there. It's quite neat looking, actually, to be honest with you. There you go. And mine also came with HID auto leveling reflectorized headlamps. So I'll go pop the hood. So this particular model of the XV20 ES300 is equipped with this 1MZ FE engine. During that era of Toyota and Lexus cars, this was the go-to V6 engine that they offered. Mine is mated with a 4-speed automatic electronic transmission. And what I like about this 1MZ FE engine is that it develops 210 horsepower, which makes it decent enough. And you have this lovely thing, which is a mechanical throttle body, which is pretty neat, actually. So you have the engine right there. So if you're shopping for a car that has the same engine as this, I think the only thing that you should be worried about is the timing belt. Make sure it's been replaced, and serviced, and also the oil changes. The oil changes off this car, you need to make sure that it's been done regularly. Otherwise, I think this particular engine was prone to oil sludge. But yeah, so just make sure about those two things, and I guess you'll be all right. Like I said, I had this car for 2 months and been no trouble at all. So we'll close the hood. We'll go inside the cabin. Go in the rear first. There you go. So, sitting inside the rear of the cabin, it's quite spacious. I'm 5'7.5", and the seat in front of me is adjusted to obviously my size. And here are my knees. It's not touching the front seat, so which is quite cool. And here's the view from the rear. Yeah, these era of cars, late 90s, early 2000s, it's quite good to look around. You still have this very good greenhouse. The pillars are small. Beside this one, the seat pillar is a bit big, but it's not really intruding once you're driving, because the rear glass is still big enough for you to look out of. So here it goes. And you have cup holders on the rear, by the way, which is pretty good. You have a bigger size cup holder here and then a smaller size. And the rear seats are finished off with beige leather, and you have wood grain inserts on both doors for the window mechanism button. So this particular model of the ES300, they had these pillarless windows, which makes it quite cool and coupe-like, to be honest with you guys. So that's quite awesome looking, but it has its downsides, as I'll mention later. So we'll hop inside. Yeah, those are solid thunk doors for a 17-year-old car. You can still hear that solid thump. So I'll go start it up and see what it's like. So if you look closely here, this is the instrument binnacle, and it's all dark. You can barely see the gauges and things like that. So if I turn the key on, put my foot on the brake, start it up, you are immediately greeted with this electroluminescent gauges, which is pretty cool. It's almost 3D like, and you have these sort of like lightsaber needles, which is pretty cool, and the digits and the letters are almost 3D. So for 1997, when this car was introduced, that's pretty cool, I guess. Never mind that warning light. That warning light is for the auto leveling sensor of the headlights. I checked it off earlier. It's just the sensor that's malfunctioning, but the headlight motors up front are working fine, so nothing to worry about that. Let's go turn on some ventilation over here. There we go. It's quite hot outside. It's 87 degrees. Anyhow, back to the entire layout of the car. So once you sit here, you're greeted with this steering wheel, which is very big, and I'm not really a fan of. I believe they used to call it pillowcase steering wheel, because this was the time when the airbags were being put, you know, and they still can't quite engineer smaller steering wheels. But yeah, it's quite huge and fat. 4-spoke though, so which makes sense because the car is 4 doors. I don't know if it works that way, but hey. Anyhow, as you can see, I still have the original stereo, or hi-fi, and it has a tape deck, and it still even has the original CD changer, which is located here inside the glove compartment. And I'll demonstrate the radio real quick. So right here, looking at the center console of the dashboard, you can see from the radio to the HVAC controller and up to here where the transmission lever sits, it's all finished off with wooden inserts, which is quite elegant if you ask me. So here's the HVAC controller, which is digital, and I think that's a very luxurious touch during the late 90s, and it's pretty cool actually. It tells you the positions of where the air is coming out on the vent, and if you turn this knob here clockwise, it increases the temperature, and if you rotate it counterclockwise, obviously it goes down, decreases the temperature. And if you press it, it tells you the outside temperature, which is 87 degrees, and it's extremely cooking outside, so I'm a bit sweaty. Anyhow, this car is equipped with rear defrosters, and if you flick the rear defrosters on, even the mirrors are also heated, so it shares that button for the heated mirrors. Mine is actually equipped with the auto dimming feature on the rear view mirror and also on the left side mirror. I think the downside in having that auto dimming feature is that when the car gets older, like mine, 17 years old to be exact, it has that sort of nasty stain. I tried removing it, but I couldn't quite get to it. And also here it develops that stain right there. And right here is the shade for the moonroof. And there it is. The switch is right here, by the way, so if you push it forward, it tilts it up, and if you push it all the way to the back and closes it and push it again, hold it for a few seconds, and it opens the moonroof right there, the sun. And let's close it because it's quite hot. You have your sunglass holder right there, and you have a map light. So that's the tour of the cabin. Oh, actually I forgot, it has two auto up and down function for the mirrors, or yeah, and the rear ones isn't, but yeah, it's electric, central locking. It's a lock for the windows. There you go, and I guess we'll go for a drive. I'll go mount the camera. So, setting off in the Lexus ES300, immediately you'll notice this very, very good visibility due to the fact that it doesn't have those new intrusive A-pillars. And the greenhouse is quite big, so it's relaxing. And in 2 months of owning this car, I just noticed that it has a very good ride. It's buttery smooth. It pulls decent enough in the highway because of the V6 engine, and it's just smooth, you know. I think what Lexus is trying to do is give you a butler. That's what it is, you know. It's giving you a butler. Sort of does everything for you, shift gears for you. The seats are nice and very cool air conditioning, actually. Quite chilly in now. The temperature outside is 79 degrees and right here it's 63, so yeah, properly chilly now. I'm gonna go take it in some back roads that I like and see how it drives. By the way, when I picked up the car, it had 103,000 miles. Now it just clicked over to 105,000. I did around 2,000 miles of driving on it. Most of them are commutes. But during the first 2 weeks of getting the car, I took it up to Mount Diablo. And to be honest with you, I think I kind of put the car out of its comfort zone because of those twisty, narrow roads. And the second trip that I did with it is I took it to Point Reyes National Seashore, which was quite awesome because I did a lot of freeway miles on the car and it ate them quite good. It was a champion on the freeway. It was quiet, it was comfortable, and on the traffic, you know, I wasn't losing my cool because you're detached from the, you're kind of detached. I think that's what they're trying to do. You're sort of like insulated because you can barely feel the bumps on the highway. So great suspension travel, by the way. It's just, you know, you get some slight body roll on the corners. There's an upcoming corner here at the end of this road, and I'll demonstrate I'll demonstrate that to you guys, what I mean about the body roll. Anyhow, the NVH level on this car is awesome. It's very low, very minimal wind noise. I think the only wind noise that's coming, that the car's developing, is due to the fact that it has pillarless windows. And I think that's why Lexus stopped doing that in their ES lineup. So right here, we're gonna get this curve here. Slow down a bit, but I'll give it some power once we're inside the bend. There you go. There you go. We're leaning from side to side. Feels like a yacht. Yeah, it feels like a small boat if you try to put it in some corners. And so, one thing you'll notice, by the way, because of this 4-speed automatic, the gears are quite tall, so the acceleration is just very very linear, nothing too exciting. So if you want this car and you like going fast, I guess you'll be very disappointed. Although it gets up to speed in a reasonable, I think very reasonable. From 0 to 60 takes about 8 seconds. So I guess that's not bad, especially from a late 90s era car. Yeah. So if you're looking for quite bargain of a price, of quite bargain car, you know, looking for a beater that you could just use during your commute to work, I guess if you could find a good one, for XV20 series, why not, you know? Even the Camry, I guess. Although the Camry, I'm not sure, although the Camry, most of them probably just has cloth seats, but you know, it's good enough. I'm not gonna make this video too long. I just wanted to let you know that this is it. This is how it drives. You know, nothing exciting, just smooth. You know, it's sort of like a butler because it does everything for you. Anyway, thanks for watching Motoring 90, and hope you enjoyed my review of my Lexus ES300. See you again in the next video. Thanks. Drive safe.